If you're watching this video to know more about the Leica D-Lux 8, then there's a 50% chance that you actually want to own one. Well, at least that was me a few weeks ago because I heard about this camera and I got really interested. And then I realized there's not many YouTube videos out there about this one. So here I am making this video to share with you guys my thoughts and experience using it for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Now let's go. What's up guys, Jason smashpop here. Now before I start sharing my review, I just want to say that before I even received this review unit from Leica Malaysia, I actually paid 3,000 ringgit to them just to secure my unit when it launches in mid-July. Initially it was early July, but now they have pushed it to mid-July, at least here in Malaysia. So yeah, here are my thoughts and review using this for the past 2 weeks. Let's talk about the design. Before I share about my thoughts on the design, I just want you to know that this is actually my first time using a Leica camera. Before this, I am using the Ricoh GR3X and I've also spent 1 to 2 months using the X100VI, okay? Now, looking at the design of the D-Lux 8, it is actually very small. It is also smaller, or I can say shorter than an iPhone 15 Pro Max, okay? And because the lens retracts, you are actually able to put it inside your pants pocket, not jeans, but normal cotton pants pocket, along with you as you go out on a day-to-day basis, okay? Now, a lot of people actually say that it looks like a baby Q3, hence people are calling it the baby Q, which I don't mind because if you look at it, on first glance, it does look a little bit like a Q3. And at the back, they have actually simplified the controls, okay? Now you only get like a dial and also 2 square buttons above and also below it. There are also 2 customizable buttons beside the EVF, and the screen is not tiltable, okay? As much as we want a screen to be tiltable, at this price range, I don't think Leica will give it to us. The dials on top are also quite easy to use because the big one actually controls the shutter speed. There's also a zoom rocker that you can actually do your zooming by just using your index finger. And the power button is now placed on the side, okay? And behind the power button is actually a dial that you can also customize the middle button for. So I guess although the controls are very simplified, you still get quite a number of buttons for you to do your customized settings. On the top, they also placed a slider for us to pick the aspect ratio. So the options that we have here is 3:2, 16:9, 1:1 and also 4:3. And beside the lens, there is actually a slider for us to pick whether we want autofocus macro and also manual focus. Oh, since I also have the Ricoh GR3X, I also did a comparison in size and design between the two of these cameras, okay? As you can see, it is actually very similar to the size of the Ricoh GR3X as well. Now, continuing to the reason why I actually bought this camera, even though I already have the GR3X, okay, is because I've always been wanting a street camera, which is like a compact camera to take street photos with zoom, okay? Because like for example, the GR3X, it's a 40mm and sometimes I might want to zoom a little bit more, or if I want to go wider, I can't because it cannot zoom. And it's the same issue when I was trying the X100VI, because that one I also cannot zoom because it's a fixed lens. So the moment I know that Leica is launching the D-Lux 8 with a variable zoom lens, I instantly want to get it. Now, since we're on the topic of design and also hardware, let's talk a little bit about the screen as well. So the screen is actually a 3-inch screen and it's very high res, at least to my eyes. I actually prefer the EVF a lot more because it is very bright and very high res as well. And because it's an OLED screen, the contrast and saturation is actually very vibrant. Now that we are done with the design and also the physical stuff outside, let's talk about inside, okay? Now, the D-Lux 8 comes with a micro four thirds sensor, something that we've not heard of for the past 10 years, I think. To be honest, I initially thought micro four thirds sensors are dead. But apparently it's not for Leica, because with this new camera, we get to see micro four thirds camera coming back. And this one has a 22 megapixel micro four thirds sensor, but the effective pixels that we can use is just 17. So I'm not sure whether 17 megapixels is good enough for you. To me, I actually feel that it is okay. Of course, I do prefer 24 megapixels, 48 megapixels, you know, because at least I get to crop in a little bit if I want to. But like what I mentioned just now, at this price range, I don't think we'll get anything bigger than a micro four third sensor on this D-Lux 8. And I feel that maybe Leica wanted to maintain this small physical compact size, hence they are not able to replace it with a bigger sensor like an APS-C or a full frame sensor. Like what I mentioned just now, I am actually a first time Leica user, hence this new UI that they have inherited from the Q3, I really like, and for a first timer, I feel that it is very easy to use. The buttons are all on the front, and I like how whenever we press the menu, it actually presents us like quick settings like shutter speed, modes, autofocus options and more. And if you want to deep dive into the settings of the camera, we just need to press menu for the second time and it will actually bring us to like the detailed settings section, okay? As a person that has been using Sony cameras and also the Ricoh GR3X, I realized that the UI on this Leica is a lot better because it is very clean and very simple to use, okay? But there's one thing that I want to complain about. The UI is actually a little bit slow and laggy. According to Leica Malaysia, there should be a new firmware update for the D-Lux 8 that will actually improvise the speed and also the snappiness of the UI. They might also add more filters in the upcoming firmware because at the moment, this is 1.0 by the way, they only have standard, vivid, natural, black and white monochrome and also black and white high contrast. The vivid, natural and also standard, they look mediocre. I actually prefer to use the black and white high contrast a lot because it gives me emotion in every photo I take, okay? I always set my photos to DNG plus JPEG because I want to maintain the JPEG version, which is the monochrome, and I also want the DNG, which is the raw file format for me to edit using my own LUTs and also my filters. Speaking of photos, I would like to say that the photo quality that comes out from this little camera is very good, okay? The aperture starts from f1.7 to 2.8. So as I zoom, the aperture will gradually switch from 1.7 to 2.8, which is still not too bad, and I still get bokeh when I shoot subjects which is not too far away. Of course, the D-Lux 8 can also shoot videos in 4K 30 or 1080p 60. I do wish that the autofocus is faster, but then again, it's a street photography camera, right? It's not like a professional video camera, so I would assume this is sufficient. So this is a video test with autofocus continuous. I'm focusing on Woody now, and then I move to Buzz, and then back to Woody. And now let's zoom to 50 mm. Alright, Buzz. It's kind of slow, and yeah. So I guess that wraps up my experience slash review video about the D-Lux 8, which is launching in Malaysia in 2 weeks time, I think in July, mid-July. It also comes with this little flash, external flash that you can plug onto the hot shoe above the Leica D-Lux 8. It comes in a box, okay, so you don't have to buy it. I haven't really used the flash yet, so I can't show you much or I can't tell much. That's for you to find out yourself, okay? Now, price-wise, at this point, I still don't know because the launch is not happening yet, hence they are not revealing the price yet. But online, it's actually about 1.5k USD, so we can roughly convert it to about 8-9k ringgit here in Malaysia. So yeah, and if you have any questions about the D-Lux 8 or if you want to see sample photos that I took using the D-Lux 8, head over to my Instagram. My Instagram username is smashpop, okay? If you love gadgets, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share this video with your friends, and follow me on all social platforms. My name is Smashpop again. I'll see you in the next video. Yo!